Hi everybody, it's Miss Mac here with a quick review on what function notation looks like and how we go about using it. So first of all, I want to remind you that this up here in black is what we call function notation. When we read the left side of this, remember the F is just a name and the X is going to be X. So we read that F of X. You could have G of X, H of X, R of X, K of X, anything you want. They're just names. The input is the number that's in the parentheses. That's what you're going to put into the function, put into the machine. Over here, the output is what you get after you use this rule. So you put a number in for X, you use this rule, you use the machine, and it spits out a number. That's the output. So if you want to think about it this way, the notation always looks like F of the input is going to equal the output. So the input is always what's inside the parentheses with the F. The output is what is on the right side. So if I look at these two examples down below here, and you notice that the first one says find F of negative 12. What that's telling me is that I have an input of negative 12. And I need to find what the output is. I want to know what is that equal to. So I am finding the output. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up here and I'm going to look at the rule. Remember, this is the rule. This is how I find my output. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with F of negative 12 because that's what I'm trying to find. And my rule, if you remember, was X plus 2. So I am putting in negative 12 for the X. I'm replacing this X up here with negative 12. So my rule is I take my input and I add 2. Now, when I add those two, I get negative 10. So that means an input of negative 12 gives me an output of negative 10. And this is one way I can write that. I could, if I want, also write it as an ordered pair. I put in negative 12 and I get out negative 10. So input, output, X, Y, domain, range, all the same kind of thing. Now, for the next problem, what it says is, what color do I want to use here? Let's use blue. All right, so for this next one, it says find X. So notice the thing that I don't know is my input. So I have to figure out what input I use to get an output of 25. So I need to find the input that gives me the output of 25. So if I go up here, this is my rule. I have to figure out what to put in there to make this thing equal to 25. So I'm just going to come down here and write an equation. X plus 2 equals 25. I know my rule, my X plus 2 has to total 25. I'm finding the input. So now I can solve that by subtracting 2 on each side. And that means X is going to equal 23. And that's my answer. Another way to write that would be an input of 23 gives me an output of 25. So this was a quick review of how you interpret the notation and how you find the inputs or outputs based on what you're given. If you still have questions after watching this video, make sure that you talk to your teacher or Miss Mac, and we will get you some more help. There are some practice problems for you to do, plenty of practice, so you can work on those. Please check your answers when you're done. Good luck. Bye-bye.